Hey, I think we're live. Welcome back, everyone, to another Marketing Insights here with Practice Insider's Edge in our Grow platform. Today, we're going to do a continuation of the last couple of videos that we've done. Actually, it's going to be part 1 of 4. If you remember, we're talking about habits to make your practice successful in 2023. The truth is, if you want anything in life to be different, you have to do different things. So if you look at when you started 2022 in January and you ended 2022 in December, how did you like or prefer the outcome that took place? Whether it's patient visits, whether it's new patient exams, whether it's the purchase of something new in your practice, are you happy with the outcome that took place? I would say many are, most aren't, especially if you're hungry, you want more. I'm here to help you with those habits. Again, we're going to talk about 4 of them over the next 4 weeks. The first one is the importance of a weekly team meeting. Now, honestly, it should be a daily meeting with your team, whether you are a one-man, one-woman show, or whether you have 2 people on staff or you have 10 people on staff. You should be meeting on a daily basis. And I'm going to show you what we call our Morning Success Huddle here in a bit, which is just a very small framework that you could use. And of course, you can expand upon it and make it better, but it's at least something that you can look at. Because the truth is, again, if you want things to be different in 2023, I want you to do different things. Video 1 is going to be on our weekly meetings, or of course, I would say our daily staff meetings. Number 2 would be on picking a niche. Number 3 is going to be on asking for more reviews. And number 4 is going to be doing more videos, because that's what's going to make your practice more successful going into the new year. Now, there is a reason why you should be doing team meetings. There's a bunch of them. I'm going to cover 3 of them. One of the most important ones is numbers don't lie. They tell. In other words, they tell on you what's happening in the practice. You can't deny what statistics are going to say within your practice of how many new patients did we see today, this week, this month, this quarter, this half year, this year. I would assume you'd always want them consistently growing. And if that is the case, you need to track them. I always talk to our clients that if you don't know where the city of Rhinelander, Wisconsin is, and you're in Gainesville, Florida, I would assume you're going to have somewhat of an idea that you're going to go from the southeast to the northwest in a certain position. But if you don't have a map to get yourself there and checkpoints along the way, you're going to be failing. So you need to have checkpoints within your practice on how to get there. It's very, very important that you're using numbers to help drive your practice. If you don't have those, you don't know how you can improve. Or if you have improved, you don't know by how much. Numbers are critical to do that. And if you're having a morning huddle, a morning success huddle, you can cover the day before or the week before. You can cover what you're going to do today and what you would do tomorrow. And that's what I'll show you in this framework that we'll cover. The other component that I want to is that when you are doing these morning huddles, or weekly meetings, whichever one you're going to fall into, is that you are going to be able to take more control of your day. Most practice owners, when they go into practice in the morning, they open up their schedule and they say, who's there? Now, the night before you leave, you should be setting up your following day for success. So you should lay out the numbers that I'll show you in the framework so you can discuss those that night and the next morning. Of course, have your staff do it and delegate it. That's important. That's part of their job. If it's you in the show, you're the one that's going to have to do it. But work harder to get a staff member that can do it for you. Because again, it is extremely critical that you're taking the numbers and then you're using that as a way in which you can actually control your day. Otherwise, every single part of the day is going to be a fire that's happening. And it's almost impossible to avoid fires in a practice, because there are emergencies that will come in. There are fires that need to be put out from a billing or a collection standpoint, but you have to do the things you can to make sure you're prepared. What's unique is, like, if there's a hole in your schedule, do you have a callback list that you can reach out to those people? That's critical. And then I also want to talk to you about accountability from the doctor and the staff. Now, I had a phone call with the doc today that we're considering working together. He just purchased 2 different programs for his practice. One is for a reputation system. The second is for helping him with his Google business profile, getting more calls coming in from Google. Now, he's not exactly sure what the numbers are of what he paid for them. That's a problem. The other part is he hasn't looked at his statistics for the last 4 weeks. End of Q4 of 2022 and the start of Q1 of 2023. In other words, he didn't know his numbers. He's having a hard time making the decision if he should consider working with us or not. You should know what those numbers are on a daily basis because it helps you control them more. It helps you take control of the practice. So let me share this on the screen. So it's a little small right now. Let me blow it up if I can. And I will say this, if you're interested in having this framework, again, this is not the Bible. It's something that you can use in your practice, but it's something that you can use to have a starting point and improve upon. But let me blow this up here and let me see here. I can bring it into place. So again, it just says Morning Success Huddle. Something that's a great way is you can start off the day with a quote of the day. No matter what it is, there's always a great way in which you can have a quote. If it's yourself, hey, it doesn't matter. Read the quote, date it so you're keeping track of it. Here's just some simple things about statistics. And again, previous day, you could start off the week with previous week. If it's a Monday, you don't have to include those. It'd be great if your staff on Friday or Saturday when you're done puts in previous week's numbers. So your consultations, for services that you do, consultations, new patient evals, re-evals, therapy visits, reviews requested and reviews received. There is a gamut more of things it can do in there. If you do spinal decompression, how many new patients came in on spinal decompression that day? How many visits? What about shockwave? What about laser? What about nutrition? Anything that you do in your practice. What about your, do you do lunch and learns in your community? Do you have a dinner hosting event that you're going to do? Those are the things that you need to cover. So then the team is going to discuss what worked well yesterday, where or what could be improved, where did we experience gaps in the schedule, and any questions that were raised that would be good for a video to shoot live or recorded. This is just a way in which these work off of these numbers there. It's a way in which your team can get together and discuss things to improve. So now the next one is outlook for today. So these are the numbers that you're going to discuss. What do you have set up as your goals versus actual? Are you hitting those numbers day after day, week after week? Discussions that can be ready to prepare you for that day is number of open slots in the schedule. If you have a few open slots, who can you fill them with? Number 2, who is on the wait list? Number 3, any patients with insurance issues. Let's know who they are so we can go after them the moment they walk in the door. Any patients with outstanding balance issues. What about patients with overdue reevaluations? Do we have x-rays, reports, and labs for every patient that's coming into the practice? And who has a birthday or anniversary on the schedule? Now, that's a great way in which you can have a conversation with somebody. And it's a great way to, build a bond and trust within your practice. And now prepare for tomorrow. Again, what are the goals? So at the end of the day, you can complete these same basic questions are there. You can prepare this for when you're ready. So you're doing what you can to be ready for do a review of yesterday. What's the outlook on today? And how can you prepare for tomorrow? It's a way in which this will be written up by your team. It just is a way, again, for you to start controlling the components in your practice, setting up better, or as we would say, better habits for the practice itself. So again, in order for you to make changes that you want to see of a positive way, you have to be planning for that in the future. But planning for the future starts today or even starts yesterday. That's why we're going to cover these 4 topics again. Today is the topic of the importance of weekly or daily meetings to keep your staff on track, to make sure you're following the numbers, making sure that you are controlling the practice, as well as accountability. The doctor is held accountable and the staff is held accountable. So again, if you're interested in this small framework, there's a lot more that can be placed in there. It was just a small one to start with. Drop the word huddle in below. I'll get that out to you. If you want to chat with us because you're a practice owner that's a sole proprietor in your business, if you want to ask us questions, drop the word huddle in there as well. We'll get that to you out as soon as we can. Again, if you're a private practice healthcare professional, you're looking for ways to improve your habits to make your practice in 2023 more successful, please feel free to reach out to us. We are here to have you achieve success on so many levels. Again, my name is Dr. Derek Barron on behalf of Practice Insider's Edge, our Grow platform. Thank you again for watching another Marketing Insight. We'll see you again next week for topic number 2, which is going to be talking about picking your niche. Take care. Have a wonderful week.